All right. Jurassic Park 3. It's kind of, I don't know. I feel like for a long time it was like the black sheep of the franchise that nobody really talked about it much.
It still is.
Maybe.
It's better than 2.
I agree with you.
Yeah, it is better than 2, but man, it just ends so abruptly. Yeah. Like the ending just kills the whole thing for me.
You know what's funny is like while we were watching it, I literally turned to Judah. I was like, is it just me or is this like way better than the second one?
It is better. It's better because it's simpler.
It's better for a lot of different reasons. But I'd never seen it before. Like I never saw it in the theaters. I'd never watched it on video. So this was the first time I was watching the third movie. And I was actually pleasantly surprised at how much I enjoyed it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, like it's not as good as the first one, but it's way better than the second one.
Yeah. There's a couple of things that I really enjoyed about it, and there's always these funny things. It's in the beginning of the movie, so we'll just talk about it. But Alan Grant, we get Sam Neill back as Alan Grant after a hiatus. He wasn't in the second movie at all, which was really cool. I love Sam Neill. He's one of my favorite actors, and it's got to be
because
actor. He's a good actor. I love him in Hunt for Red October. He's so freaking cool.
I love that movie.
You know what? I don't mean to interrupt. I thought he was boring.
What?
I didn't. I just
with the movie or him?
His character in the first movie and in the third movie, I felt like he just
didn't want to be there.
Was a boring character.
Well, he didn't have a character arc in this movie.
Yeah.
So like there was no transformation for him to go through. He was just kind of there, but I felt like he was better suited for it than someone like Ian Malcolm.
Yeah, for sure. I like, because a lot of the criticism comes from like there's a big difference. Like in the first movie, Sam Neill's character Alan Grant is very much like they're animals, they're not monsters. You know, it's kind of the whole theme of the movie. And then this one, he's like, what John Hammond had created on that island was theme park monsters. And everybody's like, how do you have this?
Yeah,
like
he was very cynical about it.
Yeah, I was very cynical about it. But I think if you kind of make the connection, which I'm not saying the movies did this on purpose, but you can do it as like a fan if you want to. But like in the second movie, Ian talks about how they had that non-disclosure form and how InGen kind of threw everybody under the bus and discredited everybody, and it was like a horrible, horrible legal debacle that happened because of that island. And I think that is what changed Alan Grant's perception from...
A lot of headcanon here that you're throwing around.
Hey, man, if it works.
I mean that's the mentality of The Last Jedi defenders right there.
No.
If it works. Yeah,
no.
That's exactly how they justify it. Yeah.
No, because if you tell me, well, it's not a good setup, I'm like, okay, whatever. That's how I think of it.
He is a Jurassic Park shill. So.
I am. I am completely biased. I will admit that to anybody. And I will never tell anybody that these movies are masterpieces.
So here's what I want to ask you, Alex.
What's up?
All right. So the basis of this movie is at the very beginning, we see this guy and this little kid parasailing, and they get separated from their boat, and they get stranded on the dinosaur island, Isla Nublar. Is that
no, Isla Sorna is Site B.
Isla Sorna.
Nublar is the main island that the first movie took place on.
Okay, so they get stranded on Isla Sorna, and then the main thrust of the movie is this kid's parents lie to Dr. Grant to get him to go with them to the island so they can help find their kid. So when I was watching this, there's this scene where, first of all, I don't know why this guy chartered a boat to like the Forbidden Island to take this kid parasailing when they could have just parasailed anywhere safe.
So they wanted to see dinosaurs.
Okay, fine. So they're parasailing close to this island, and the boat goes into this like fog area. Yeah. And then when it comes out of the fog, all the guys riding on the boat are dead.
It's because there's fog monsters, dude.
Well, I'm wondering like what dinosaurs were able to kill those guys in that fog, because they're like out in the ocean at this point, and we were never shown any dinosaurs that were in the ocean. And if there were dinosaurs in the ocean, they would have attacked the boat, not the people in the boat, right?
I think the ocean monsters were in the trailer, though. So maybe it was a...
What?
I think there was, there was
in
like...
the movie trailer?
Yeah, there was something in the movie trailer that was like a fin came up, and I was totally expecting to see like an ocean dinosaur.
Well, no, the fin was from the Spinosaurus in the last scene.
I think it ended on the cutting room floor.
So there's a couple of things, and you can say it's headcanon or whatever. The theory is that it's the Spinosaurus, because it's described in the movie that the closer you get to the shore, the bigger things get. Spinosaurus kind of hung out by the shore. It's a aquatic dinosaur.
I agree with you.
So it's very likely,
based on what I saw.
Yeah, it's very likely that thing could have been out there, and it heard the boat coming, and it like got up on a little rocky ledge in the water, kind of hidden, and then just kind of chomped on the guys as they went past. But again, it's not really well set up, and I can't really defend it that much, but that's the theory.
One thing I did like, what was it called? The Spinosaurus?
Yes, Spinosaurus aegyptigus, which as of right now, the paleontologists and the actual scientists have debunked. It does not look like it does in the movie, which makes me very sad.
One of the things I thought was kind of funny in this movie is at a certain point, the Spinosaurus eats a guy who has the sat phone on him.
Yeah.
And so the way that you can tell that the Spinosaurus
is still calling.
Well, when they answer it, it's a robocall. Yeah. It's like a telemarketing call. Because I guess people give out their sat phone numbers for telemarketers. But the Spinosaurus, so like it eats the sat phone. And so the way you know the Spinosaurus is near throughout the movie, it's a real Captain Hook and alligator thing, because the phone starts ringing, and it's
inside the dinosaur.
Inside the dinosaur, and it's like, oh my god!
And then he takes a shit, and it's inside. The shit's still ringing.
Set up and payoff.
and poor Bill Macy, he pulls out this shit covered phone. And he's like, puts it up to his head. Hello.
That was Alan Grant that did that.
No, it was William H. Macy.
Was it?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Alan Grant.
Well, he was digging through the shit too.
Yeah, they all were.
But when they found the phone, William H.
Party.
Macy had the shit covered sat phone. And
can we talk about Billy for a minute? Billy is the worst paleontologist ever.
Oh yeah, like when Jude and I saw it, we were like, he totally stole an egg.
Yeah,
yeah, he did. Two.
I thought it would fund the dig site. Like what?
Honestly, if you're walking around, I don't care where you are. If you're walking around looking side-eyed like that, I know you took something.
Yeah.
I don't care if we're at the grocery store or if you're in the living room. You are walking around looking like that, hiding your side. What'd you take, man?
I was taking pictures of the nest.
Yeah.
Just give me the bag.
Just give me the bag, Alan.
Just give me the bag, man.
It's not safe.
How much more
did you do?
You want me to carry it?
The way he was trying to get the bag back from Alan was just like very not sophisticated at all.
No, not stealthy.
Not sly. Not at all. But he redeemed himself, though.
It's like when you're a little kid and you slip something in the grocery cart.
Yeah.
It's like, Mom, I'll carry that bag. I'll carry that bag out to the car.
Totally, yes.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah, Billy. What I was talking about Billy and the paleontology thing is when they get attacked by the Spinosaurus and it's coming after him and it wrecks the plane and all that nonsense. All that big scene happens. Alan kind of asks Billy, like, what kind of dinosaur do you think it was? And he's like, oh, Suchomimus, because it's got the snout. Oh, Baryonyx, because it's got this. And it's like, not with that sail. Like, as a dinosaur nerd, I'm like, there's only so many dinosaurs that fit this description, Billy. You're a paleontologist. You should know this by now.
It's a bird cage.
Well, that was a good moment. That was the best part of the movie.
That was.
All the characters in this movie are like terrible.
What?
All the characters are terrible at what they
do.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, for instance, the
Except for the kid. The kid was badass.
The kid was badass.
Don't ask him that.
But
he'll go for hours.
The three mercenaries. Can we just talk about how terrible mercenaries are?
Yeah, they weren't even mercenaries.
Okay,
they were like carpet salesmen
exactly.
or something.
Yes, that's the whole point. Is like, yeah, they're terrible mercenaries. Yes, because they were basically just like preppers that like wanted to,
It was a guy that could fly a plane and his two pals that like to shoot guns.
Yeah, exactly.
I've worked with them before,
like,
and they're
mercenaries. We're top men.
top ramen.
That's the whole point. Like that's the whole shtick of the whole thing.
And then William H. Macy, he's not really like a multi-millionaire.
No,
he's
paint
like,
and tile plus.
Yeah, I run a paint and tile store.
I do like the
Writing
scene where he
fake
was
checks.
like, when you were climbing, what was it, Mount Everest or Mount Kilimanjaro or something?
Something. Okay,
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
K2.
He was like, where did you, he's like, oh, I, 10,000 miles above the peak. That's where I rested
He's
before I
like,
finished.
did you camp at 30,000 feet? And he's like, oh yeah, 30,000.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're about 10,000 feet above it. Yeah. It's funny, like we laugh at it because it's kind of goofy and the way it comes off in the film is a little just odd, but like it makes sense. Everything's there.
To me, like the movie, whenever it was Alan Grant and the kid, it was good. All the other characters were annoying as hell.
Yeah.
Like I thought William H. Macy's character was okay. Tia Leone.
Leone.
She was the most annoying character.
Yeah,
as well.
but
with that
also
mega horn thing.
yeah, but also the fact that she Like the whole premise of this is like she let her boyfriend take her kid to
Worst
Dinosaur Island.
parents
I thought
ever.
they were married at that point.
No,
No,
they
they
just
were
got
boyfriend.
divorced. And she let this dude take her kid on a boat to Dinosaur Island to parasail. And the guy was a jerk too. He's like, just let me have it. Take your hands off.
he was
Shut
he was
up.
panicking. There was nothing to notify.
Listen, if you are a person prone to panic, you do not belong parasailing on Dinosaur Island.
This is true.
By the way, the budget for this was $93 million.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well, way more CGI.
Golf clap.
yeah, a lot more CGI. There's one thing I wanted to point out though. I don't know what it is. To me, this movie doesn't hold up as well as the other two. I think it's because it's in broad daylight almost the entire time. And the Spinosaurus.
You do not think Lost World is better than this.
Not like I'm talking about like from a technical and special effects standpoint.
Carry on.
The animatronic, the Spinosaurus. Like the animatronic Spinosaurus didn't look nearly as real as the animatronic T-Rex.
Well, there was that whole nighttime scene in the water.
That was the best part. That's when it sold me, and for the life of me, I cannot understand why they cut in a kid watching Barney during that scene.
It was to add
I understand
tension.
what it was for, but it was the worst edit. You take the scary. It's like taking the T-Rex scene from the first movie and editing in like another scene from another area where nothing's happening.
Well, I don't think that this one was scary at all. I think it was more of like an action movie or an adventure movie.
It went back to the first movie's kind of like vibe. I think.
Really?
I feel like.
I never.
Well, I think the
felt like
first
it
one was
scary at all.
scarier for like from a kid perspective or from a first time view perspective.
The first one was definitely a lot more tense.
Yes. Yeah.
It should be pointed out that the guy who directed this, Joe Johnson, he was the guy who directed the original Jumanji with Robin Williams, and he also did Captain America: The First Avenger.
I do too.
So he's not the best director in the world.
Jumanji was great. I was just saying, like, I just felt like the Spinosaurus in that opening scene where it takes on the airplane. I don't know. There was something about the animatronic, whether it was the lighting or if it was the set design or something. It didn't sell me. I was just like, that looks fake as hell. And then it got redeemed later on. The boat scene with the water, I thought that looked fantastic. And the CGI was pretty on point for most of the movie. It's just that opening scene when you really get introduced to this brand new, like, big scary dinosaur.
I will say I think this movie is very well paced.
Yeah,
I think the pacing
except
for this
the ending.
movie is good.
The ending kind of
it is a very abrupt ending.
Very abrupt. Which this movie went through extensive reshoots.
You don't say.
Extensive, like it was a completely different movie, and then at like last minute they just were like, let's just do this, and they came up with what we have. But I always thought, like, even when I first watched the movie in the theaters, I was like, that's how it's going to end, just like that. Like that was oddly.
With the troops showing up on the shore?
It was a dude in a suit with a megaphone.
Yeah.
Alan Grant, like, what?
It's like they knew exactly where to pull those boats up.
And Ellie Sadler, like she got those guys out there really quick.
Really
she?
quick.
Like, I don't know what type of connection she had.
Well, it was explained earlier in the movie where Ellie's new husband works for the State Department and he's involved in like international treaties, so he has some. Some clout.
Pull.
You know what upset me the most about this movie?
Set up and payoff. Go ahead.
I was upset that they did the T-Rex so bad.
Really?
Yeah.
They did the T-Rex dirty.
They did him dirty.
Okay, because that's a
T-Rex deserved better.
If there's anything that you're going to pick a fight with people in the Jurassic Park fandom, it's whether or not the T-Rex got done dirty. And I think there can be an argument said that it did, but to me, it wasn't Rexy. Rexy is still alive and well, as we know. She's on Isla Nublar. Okay, it was a different dinosaur. I used to think that it was the baby T-Rex from the second movie that had grown up, and because it was injured and weak and it didn't grow up, healthy as the other ones, that's why it was weaker than the Spinosaurus, and that's why it died. That was my headcanon theory. It has nothing to do with the movie.
In my head, there's nothing more meaner and ferocious than the T-Rex. So nothing's going to beat it in the fight.
This one was 97, right?
No. Lost World was 97. This one I think was 2001.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I was a little annoyed that they had to show that the Spinosaurus was such a badass by killing a T-Rex. It kind of annoyed me a little bit.
Just a little
I don't
bit
even know why. It's just like they didn't even have to put that in the movie.
You're not alone. You're not alone at all. A lot of people feel the same way. It never bothered me. I always felt like, okay, they have to establish that this new dinosaur is a bigger threat. So there you go. And it, like I said, it wasn't Rexy. If they would have killed Rexy, 100%.
How do you know which one's Rexy and which one isn't?
Rexy.
Oh, he knows.
Rexy is the one from the original movie, and in the original movie, at the very, very end, when she gets in the fight with the raptors inside the main visitor center, she gets the scratches on the neck, and she has a scar, and you can always tell it's Rexy because she has a scar on her face and her neck. And
I did not know that.
If you watch the Jurassic World movies, boom, it's there. That's how you know.
Is she in the volcano? Did she get whacked in the volcano?
No, she got out. They took her to the mainland. Rexy's out in California somewhere.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Killed her.
That's good to know.
Whacked him.
Where's the dinosaur that rampaged through San Diego?
That was
It's in the boat.
Still in the boat.
It's just circling around.
It's on a cruise.
Every time it eats the crew, they just put a new crew on it, let it go.
They helicopter a new crew in.
I don't know. That's Isla Sorna, so that's the same island that the Spinosaurus was on. So it's roaming around somewhere on the island.
I mean, not to go back to the second one, but couldn't they have just like gotten a second boat and towed that shit out there? Why are you putting more people in danger, sir?
You put more thought into it than the writers did.
I hate
That's
it when
what we do. That's what we
Push
do
it.
here. We think about things more
Put
than
a
the people
boat
who make
behind it and push it. That way you can just like skedaddle
Little
out of there.
We have a little tugboat.
Jude's really upset about that boat, guys.
The second movie really.
Yeah,
You guys are going to hate me right now, but I really wish dinosaurs were real. You know why?
So they would eat people?
No.
Oh.
So we could have a Carol Baskin for dinosaurs.
I
Killed
do
her.
hate you now.
She's gonna feed your husband to a dinosaur.
Because you know there'd be some psychos out there with dinosaur zoos on the side of the road.
Dude.
That bitch.
Colin Chavarro, if you're listening,
Oh my god!
there's going to be a TV spinoff. And it's going to
Dinosaur King.
be Dinosaur King.
King.
It's going to be Dinosaur King.
High five.
Nick Cage, call Nick Cage right now.
That's it.
No, call Ian Malcolm.
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
I mean, he's already got the whole chest hair thing
Oh
going on.
my god! I feel like you made me have the sound of a pterodactyl when you said that.
Let's talk about those. Best part of the freaking
Yeah,
movie.
can we talk about the 3D printed
the flute?
raptor flute?
The raptor flute? Hey, man, set up and pay off. Set up and pay off. No.
Yes.
Call for help.
Oh yeah. Oh, no. Don't say that to them.
How rude. They looked shook, too, didn't they? They were like, what did he just call you?
That was good. I did actually like that scene. They're like, the raptors are all like, what the fuck?
You know what, guys? Let's just go.
It's like,
Let's
just
get
give me
out
the
of
egg.
here.
Let's bounce.
I'm really confused now.
That weird looking raptor has an attitude. Let's get out of here. Let's just take our eggs and go, you guys.
No, so it's a misunderstanding of this scene as to what happened.
Yes, explain it to us, Alex.
Please.
So Alan uses the little magic raptor flute, and he's making noises out of it, and I can't remember. Was it one of the characters, William H. Macy or something? Like, no, call for help. So he mimics the sound that the first raptor that they encountered
It's
inside
like the whistle that Willy Wonka had when a kid eats it in the factory. and the Oompa Loompas come out and they bring you some dino eggs.
edible. Anyway,
Sorry.
So he says call for help. So he mimics the sound that the raptor made when they were in the compound where it was chasing them through the little cages area and stuff like that.
He'd
And
clearly been practicing.
he heard the little call sound that it made, so he mimicked that. And then what happens if you listen closely, if you have your volume up, you can hear the thumping of a helicopter right after he does that. So the raptors are there, they see him, listen to him, call for help, and then they hear this like, doop, 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 doop. And then they're like, oh, let's freaking bounce. He called for help. I'm out of here. That's how that scene went down. I know it's not like delivered the best way.
Have you interviewed the raptors?
No, but that white one is dope. That's so cool. The raptors in this movie are the best in the whole franchise, hands down. To me, like when I look at this, they use so many great practical effects.
Wouldn't you think using the raptor call for help would just attract more raptors?
Yes.
Isn't that how
He's
that
talking
Yes.
their language.
You and I would think that.
But Dinosaur Man over here.
You know, if you had, instead of just called for help, if you had yelled fire. Because that's how you get help.
What if there had
What's the
been
raptor word for fire?
What if there had been a scene where like what's the thing that killed the T-Rex?
Spinosaurus?
Spinosaurus. When the Spinosaurus shows up and the raptors make a noise that say retreat and they all run away, like that would have made more sense where Alan was like, oh, let me use that one, have them like run away because they're calling for
Or they could have used the T-Rex pee.
or that.
They could have been like, hey, spray some of that T-Rex pee. It'll scare all the little ones away.
The kid never explained how he got that, did he?
It's all
Said you don't want to know.
You don't
He
want
said
to
you
know.
don't want to know.
It's a good story for another time. Look, it's really not that hard.
That kid is awesome.
The T-Rex pees, you wait for it to walk away, then you walk over to the giant puddle of piss and you pick up the T-Rex.
Yeah, that's
pee.
it. That's
not
what
that
I was thinking.
hard. I don't understand why people get hung up
had
on
to
that.
sneak up
Like
on
he-
a T-Rex
so-
while
Yeah.
he was sleeping, and I
Like
had to milk the pee out of him.
That's what people. That's the attitude people have. Like, how is this kid get T-Rex pee? I mean, it's not that hard.
I had to take a golden shower with a T-Rex. My life is something you don't want to know.
Ew.
You know what was weird is when the guy that he was with when he was parasailing, when they find his body,
Ben Hildebrand.
like he looks like he's been there way more than 3 weeks. Like,
It had been
like,
8 weeks.
8 weeks.
eight weeks. Like he's literally like a skeleton with
He's
like
been eaten,
pieces of flesh on him. Well, he was hanging from a tree. How was he being eaten?
biting hike. That's all I got for you. I don't know.
Yeah.
People decompose out in
Drive
jungles
by.
like that actually
humid,
really fast.
Yeah, humid. You know,
Yeah.
like rainy all the time.
No, like he still would have been more corpsey than
I don't
skeleton.
know.
8 weeks. That's a long time.
I've watched a few documentaries about
Critters.
stuff like that.
Yeah, got
Little
bugs,
critters.
maggots.
Yeah, it's not all
raptors.
dinosaurs.
That's why he didn't have any legs.
Also,
'cause the
Taya
dinosaurs-
Leone wasn't too broken up about losing her boyfriend.
Well, he didn't know. She didn't know him that long.
Seemed like kind of a jerk.
Knew him long enough to let him take her kid.
I know, she's the worst.
She was a terrible mother.
Terrible mother.
Yeah, you can tell by her haircut.
Yeah, she very Karen.
That was
She
about,
was busy speaking to a manager when her boyfriend took her son.
she had the same
Parasailing.
haircut she had when she made that Meteor movie, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Deep Impact.
Yeah.
Impact, and also Family Man, which is the best Nicolas Cage movie ever made.
Raising Arizona
Oh,
would
yeah.
disagree with you.
Anyway, do you guys have any other thoughts about Jurassic Park 3? I really do. It's growing on me. Like, I didn't like it when I was younger, but the more I watch it now, I'm like, it's pretty
What's
good.
your order?
For best to worst?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Of these three.
There's only one answer.
Yeah.
First one's first, obviously. Number one's one.
It's 1, 3, 2.
And 3, 2. I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
I put kind of 3 and 2. They kind
No,
of
No.
two's way worse. Than
dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
I mean,
But like, if you were a dinosaur vampire, what would your power be?
I mean,
It's not that type of fandom.
it's sad when you can point to a Spielberg movie and be like, yeah, this was really bad.
Yeah.
But I do have to say, I do think the third movie was definitely more enjoyable than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
And so I would rate, the first one's first, third one's second. The second one is dead last.
It's like if on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst, 2 is like negative.
Negative.
It's in the negative.
Wow. You hated it
2
that much?
is so bad. It's so bad and so annoying.
Like if you turn off your brain and just look at like the big set pieces, yeah, it's fine.
I think you guys hated 2 way more than I did.
Yeah.
In fact, I watched these
You're
all. I watched
stupid
these
and
all.
you
on-
don't understand cinema.
You don't read.
I watched all of these on Vudu. I rented them all on Vudu this week.
Yeah.
When you watch a Vudu movie, you have to give it a star rating
Mm-hmm.
at the end, about 5 stars. And I went 4 stars for the first one, 2 stars for the second one, 3 stars for the third one. So
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I'd say that's accurate.
Yeah.
yeah,
I think I did that on my Letterboxd account.